I'm now in Ugo, I'm no longer doing menstruation. So I graduated by virtue of age. However, I know that my grandchildren now, who are girls, are going to walk this chain of menstruation. And the majority of you here are still there. You are menstruating. So menstruation is not a niche issue. It is not a side event. It is not a private matter. It is a public health priority. It is a governance priority and a human rights priority. Millions and millions of women and girls are menstruating every day. Because everyone has their own cycle, but every day there's a woman menstruating. And if every day a woman is menstruating, it cannot be a side issue. So it means it's a dignity, it's a human right, and also it means that every woman and girl can manage her cycle safely, comfortably, and without shame. It means that we need access to safe, non-toxic menstrual products, access to clean sanitation facilities, access to accurate information about healthy cycles. And we've got doctors here. So, freedom from stigma, silence, and discrimination, but also what is important, protection from harmful products that compromise reproductive health. When the UFS report came out, and the country again, we are very good at that. When there's something that is bad, in a week, everybody will be talking and fighting. After a week, we go back to the
Yeah.
Now, in that week where everybody was, firstly, there was statement issued. Firstly, there was a statement issued by men about menstruation that comes from women's bodies. Number one. Number two, then there was a report, and also on TV, because that week everybody was on TV or radio. On TV, a council of gynecologists and obstetricians also issued a statement, and that statement was saying, women, cool down. EDCs are there in pairs, but and they are those that are acceptable. And again, it was men speaking on TV about our bodies. And the third thing then, government, a body called NCC, also issued a statement to say, no, we are going to investigate. And we will call these suppliers to come and tell us if this report is truth. And also we are going to call the supplier to come and tell us what is in their product, in their products. That was on the 24th of February. Today is the 4th of August. The report is being out. And all of us have forgotten we are buying in bags and putting them again on our head and don't know what is in it. So I think for me, as we're speaking about dignity, that is what we're talking about. That there are products about men or children that the country won't compromise. If every time you want to know what is in this formula, is it harmful to children? And if it is harmful, it will not even go to the shelves. But nobody is worried about what is in the sanitary pads. Something that every day we put on our pets, sometimes it even gets into the vagina because something tampons. Yeah. Without knowing what we're putting inside them. And that, for for me, is an issue that we need to look into. That there is no accountability from government for products used inside women's bodies. Let us speak plainly that anything that is inserted into the vagina or worn against the vulva must meet the highest safety standards. Not voluntary standards, the highest safety standards.
Yeah.
Is it a sign that I must keep quiet? Women and girls use pads, they use tampons, they use menstrual cups, panty liners. A panty liner. There are people who every day there is a panty liner. Every day there is a panty liner. Now, if that panty liner might have a product that might have issues in the future, that might cause cancer in the future or affect reproduction, shouldn't all men and women come together to say, the men, their grandchildren, to their wives, that I don't want this thing to be affecting my wife, because I also want children in the future. And also when you talk about daily hygiene products, these products sit inside the most absorbent, delicate, and biologically sensitive parts of the human body. Yet many are manufactured with toxic chemicals, bleaching agents, endocrine disruptors, fragrances that destabilize vaginal flora, and plastics that cause irritation and long-term harm. And these products reach our shelves without mandatory disclosure of ingredients. Many of us were shocked again during that period. After NCC says we're going to investigate, then SABS, a company that sets standards, issued statements themselves. And their statement was they are going to have an amendment to SARS 1043. And that amendment says they are going to require clearer product labeling and disclosure of composition, substances and additives, and cautionary statements. Now, if in 2026 March, an agency of government that needs to set standards are now saying to us that they are going to require clearer product labeling, what was happening before that?
Yeah. Yeah.
What was happening before that? And we, a collective that was raising the campaign and having a signature campaign, after NCC said, no, now we're going to wait for government to give us the report. But we issued a statement to the suppliers to say, please make us as women feel comfortable. Just tell us what is in the product. Only one supplier responded, Confitex, to say, there it is. Others didn't, and there were how many? 9 companies that will provide pads. So I think for me, this is where, as citizens, we need to learn from the women of 1956 and not take anything, especially something that puts bread on the table of some people. Because if we decide to now use cloth or use cups, these 9 products, the companies will close. Because they depend on the blood that comes out of our bodies for them to have money. So, in full disclosure, transparency, the same way that now you want to know what is in a fizzy drink, what is in a cocoa, whatever that now is saying, for you to buy a product, look at the amount of the amount of fat. That is what we need daily. When you go to any pharmacy or any supermarket, when you take a sanitary pad, you must say, okay, this is safe for me or for my child. The government provides sanitary pads to schools, quintile 1, 2, and 3. That is schools for poor children. And now we have not, I was in government before, I'm not in government. If we providing those children every month with pads that might be harmful, because they come from poor families, some of them might be using clothes, some, yes, might be using newspaper, some might be toilet paper, but we now said, don't use those, we are giving you dignity. However, that dignity might be the one that's going to kill them. So we really have to be vigilant and hold government accountable. Because constitutionally they've got the right of that to give us that health that is healthy. So there is a call that we have continuously making to government. And this call is grounded in women's lived data and their biological experience. This monthly data, you know, in that week, so many women call SAFM or whatever, and we're talking about they might be fine the whole month, but when they go for menstruation, that is when they start having crashes and things that maybe are linked to this case, but there was no link before this was important. They could not say it is because of something, but they think maybe it's something that they're eating or it's soap that they're using and not the pads. So we must confront the truth that has shaped global inaction for generations. Women's bodies are the primary data source for menstrual health. Yet women have been structurally excluded from leading menstrual policy, regulation, and product safety governance. I said earlier on that only women menstruate, only women carry the biological experience of monthly cycles, and only women know the pain, the flow, the discomfort, the hormonal shifts, the vulnerabilities, and the intimate realities of limiting menstruation. And some of them being from different churches, you know that doctors will tell you when you menstruate, no, you can have sex, and other churches say you are dirty. So you can't even touch clothes of this person, you can't eat your food. So during that 7 days now, your domestic worker must be the one cooking because your husband, due to the church or the culture they come from, they can't eat your food. So if we look at those, there needs to be education. And as Freedom Thursdays collective, we also work with men of these movements. That the discussion about menstruation is not only about women, it's also about their partners. The men and boys need to understand the cycle. Because if they do, these taboos that are done by men and corners won't happen in their homes. So when the people responsible for regulation do not personally experience the biological processes, they often underestimate the agency. As I'm saying, we are waiting like 4 months, not knowing which product to buy, because NCC is supposed to give us feedback, and there's no report as yet. So women are trusting that whatever they are buying is not harmful. And if it is harmful, then comes a time where women must also do what other women organizations are doing. Come together, take government to court for their help. So in closing, there is a call for everyone. There is a call for women and girls, there is a call for men, there is a call for government, that we need to work together for anything that affects people's health. people's health. But now here we're talking about women's health. So we demand clear labeling, ethical production, safe materials, science-based testing, and accountability when harm occurs. Menstrual dignity is the foundation for gender equality. Healthy cycles are the foundation of reproductive justice and accountability. For menstrual products is the foundation of women's health rights. Let this Wellness Collective Summit be a turning point where government, industry, communities, and women themselves rise together to build a future where no product, no policy, and no silence can harm the health of any woman or girl. Menstrual dignity is not a dream. It is a demand. And today we declare it loudly. Women's health will be protected, women's bodies will be honored, and women's dignity